Hi friends, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how you can create your own color changing stickers slash widgets in GoodNotes. Hi, my name is Liz and I'm the creator of Zuniaberry Designs. I have a little Etsy store. If you'd like to take a look, I'll leave the link below. So yes, you can create color changing stickers widgets in GoodNotes, and you can create whatever you can imagine. I've written down, if you can imagine it, you can create it. So I have created a bunch of different stickers just using GoodNotes, and it's kind of fun. It's fun and it's exciting to be able to do this, and I'm going to show you how right away. The very first thing you need to know is when you're creating your stickers or your widgets, and you know what, stickers, widgets, they're all the same. They're all PNG items, and I'm not sure why widget is a term now. Back in the day when I was doing digital scrapbooking, it was elements, and now it's stickers, and now it's widgets and inserts, and they're basically all the same. They're just PNG items. Okay, when you are creating your, let's call it a widget for the sake of this video, you are going to layer things on top of each other. And the very first layer is going to be your background. And what GoodNotes offers is a background via the text tool. So we're going to scroll over just to a blank page to show you how to start and set up your background. If you tap on the text tool, what they have here, which is quite nice, is a text box style. You can create a background color, a border color, rounded corners, square corners, shadow, no shadow, all of these wonderful things in the text box style. So in order to create something like this or anything, you're going to start with your background. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to tap on our background color. The one thing that I don't love about this is the fact that you can't save all of your colors. So if I have a color palette for January or February, I can't really save them into my text box color. I can save one text style at a time, and then I can go back and redo it and save another text style. So in the pen tool, you do have the option to save all of your colors in the not the eraser, I'm so sorry. The highlighter, you are able to save lots of colors, but not with the text. You can save, let's see here, presets. You can have some presets, but not with the text box style. You can't really save it. You have to just keep going in and changing that color. So I'm going to go to background color, and I'm just going to choose like something in the pinks because that's what I like. And I don't actually love that color, so I'm just going to play around with it until I find something that I do like, sort of a salmony pink, and I really like that. What I'm going to do next is figure out what I want my text box to look like. So I've got my background color. I'm not going to put a border on it. I'm going to keep it at 20 point round. You can go all the way from 0 to 20, and I'm going to leave a shadow on there. Now, it doesn't really matter what font you're using here because it's all about the size of the text box. So I'm just going to start with 200, that's the maximum, and tap on the screen to bring up the text box. And there you go, there is my background color. And simply what you're going to do, instead of write text on here, you're just going to press the space bar for as long as you want it, and then the return is, as wide as you want it first, and then as long as you want it with the return button. So I'm going to leave that, and here we've created a text box with no text on it, but it serves as a perfect background. So if you can see, we've got all different types of backgrounds, rounded corners, square corners, narrow with smaller rounded corners. You can create whatever type of text box you want in whatever color you want. Now, in order to change the color, you cannot use the lasso tool to change the color. Nothing happens because the only way that you can change colors is if you have used your pen tool, your highlighter tool, or the shapes tool. Then you can lasso them and change the color of them. How do we change the background color? Well, we have to go tap on it. Oh, sorry, we always have to be on text, and we're going to edit it, and it's going to, you have to go right back into background color and change your color that way. So I can just show you, you can go right through any of the colors you want, use the color picker tool, move it around, and there you go. So I wonder if I can back up. There we go. So that is an extra step that you need to do in order to change your color, but hey, you can still have color changing stickers in GoodNotes. So how do I go from something like this to something like this? It's just using your imagination and creating things to go layered on top. So we always want to start with our background, and we're going to layer things on top of it. So for example, how did I create the top 3? Basically, it's the same way. The white spaces, the white bar is created by creating another text box. So I'm going to go to my text box, my background color, white. I'm going to make my rounded corners just a bit smaller, maybe 10. I'm not going to put a shadow on them, and I am going to make them maybe just slightly bigger. Tap on my screen and press space bar as many times as I need to. I think that might work. I'm going to press the return bar to make them a little bit bigger. Okay, so now this isn't as wide as I want it to be, so no worries. You can actually pull on these handles and make it as wide as you want it to be. And there you go. I've created one of those white spaces that you see here. Now, what GoodNotes, maybe they do, but I'm not super familiar with GoodNotes in terms of planning because I do use the Note Shelf app. However, I don't feel like you can lock down the background layer and work with the next layer on top. So usually I have to take my layer off and duplicate it 3 times and then arrange it back on. So let's do that. We're going to copy and paste, and it's very hard to see, and paste, and then I'm going to arrange them back on here nice and neatly. And there's the 2 of them, and I only want 1. And there's the last one. In the Note Shelf app, you are able to lock your background layer so you can work on the next layer on top. But I have found that this to be quite tricky with that. I'm not sure if you can have the background layer just not move and be involved in any of the other layers. So there you go. You can use whatever font you have in your system and type out my top 3. And you can even use your pen tool, and you'll see that I've done this before on one of my widgets, and create like a swirly if you want to. There's multiple options. Again, you're not going to be able to change this color. I'm so sorry. We have to go back on the lasso tool. You're not going to be able to change this background color just by lassoing it. However, whatever you've drawn on here will change color. Whatever you've used, your pen tool or your highlighter or the shapes tool, will change color using the lasso tool. Okay, so that's as simple as that. What else can I show you? You can create nice little stickers to go inside with word art on them. You can create a nice little, I guess, Instax frame. These are all have the drop shadow with them, so that's kind of nice. Basically, you're just going to create a square or a slight rectangle. I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to delete this. And simply we're going to start another text box style. We're going to make it black. We're going to have no rounded corners on it. And I'm going to just increase the size and tap the screen and press the space bar, the return bar, maybe the space bar again, just to make what I want. Here's a square. And simply all you're going to do is just put a square picture in here, put some writing in here, and you've got yourself an Instax frame. It's as simple as that, and it's so much fun to create. All right, I've also created these little trackers, and this one that says today's focus, and I'm just going to show you how I've done this. Actually, what I will do to make it easier is to take these two and move them to my blank page and save them here. And let's get rid of this backdrop. Okay, so I've made a little tracker here, and you can resize them to make them as big or small as you want inside your planner. And again, I simply just created a background using my text tool, picking my color that I wanted. So we'll just pick whatever we have here. I believe that I used a 10-pointed rounded corner. I do have a shadow on it, and I don't have a border on it. And then when I tap on my screen, and of course you have to change your size a little bit there, as big as you want it, as wide as you want it. When I tap on my screen, instead of putting text in, I'm just gonna do the space bar. So that is my tracker. I simply typed out whatever I wanted my title to be, typed out my Monday to Sunday or Sunday to Saturday, whatever you prefer. And these little hearts are in my font collection they are called dingbats. Let's see if I can find them. So dingbats you can find on DaFont or 1001 Fonts. You can find free ones, you can find paid ones. And so I've put these dingbats, these heart-shaped dingbats, which I can't find right at the moment, but I'll just scroll through, into my iPad, and they can come up. Where are they? So here they are. These are the dingbats. So I can type. I wonder if they're big enough. Let's make it slightly bigger. I'll tap on the screen to start typing, and I'm going to just type whatever letter to see what hearts come up. And then I'll just pick one that I actually like. So G, lowercase g, is a really nice one. And what's nice, see, that was an uppercase G. What's nice about dingbat fonts is that they are color changing. And I wanted to show you that, so we're going to try that again. Okay. And there is love. I'm going to make it just slightly bigger so that you can see it. And now I'm just not loving the black, so I can lasso it and press on color and change it to any color that I would like to. So through Dingbat Fonts, you can create color changing stickers. So I simply found these little open hearts, and through the text font, through this Dingbat font that I uploaded, and I'm just going to use it as a tracker. I'm going to use my highlighter tool, and as I go through my week, I'm just going to, color it in. And that is how I'm using that. You can make anything that you'd like to in this way. So one thing is that I'm not a fan of uploading my iPad with every single font there is. And once you upload a font and use it, if you delete it off of your iPad, it won't show up in your planner. It will show up as a different type of a font. So you have to be careful with the fonts that you do upload to your iPad and not to delete them, because they will completely not work when you delete them. Okay, so we're going to delete all of this stuff. And again, you know that you are going to create your base layer via the text box style in any style that you want to. So play around with that. That is so much fun. Now I simply wrote in today's focus with, let's see what font. It was just a simple American typewriter. And this little, let's make this bigger. This little leaf I just had in my file, so I just added it to my sticker to make it look prettier. And if I just go on my picture, there it is. And that's what it is. this won't change color. It's permanent that way, but it kind of adds a little bit of flair to your widget that you want to put into your digital planner. Okay, now I'm going to just show you a couple more things. I hope you are still with me here. Maybe pause and grab a cup of coffee or tea because I have so many fun things to show you. Again, so let's take a look at today's weather. I'm going to put that onto my blank page right here and resize it. Aren't these cute little widgets? Like, those are so adorable. I picked my background color and my rounded corners and how big I wanted it to be, and they are adorable. So if I lasso it and change the color, you're going to see that it only changes the color of the text or this is also a dingbat, so it changes the color of the dingbat. So I am not loving that color. I'm going to change it back to black, and there we go. So what GoodNotes has is this sticker collection that you can put in. So I would recommend, if you find something that you've created that you absolutely love, add it to, I think it's called Elements, add it to Elements, create different categories, recipes, shapes, quotes. These are my categories: weight, weather. And so create it, stick it in, and then you have it at your fingertips if you want to. Now, these little weather icons that you have here are dingbats that I have downloaded, and I'm not exactly sure whether they were paid dingbats or not. I'll have to check and see. But it is just so easy to click, because this is a text, to click on it and change it out for another weather icon for the day. And I would save all of the different weathers individually, and then they're at your fingertips in the Elements. You've got the rain, the snow, sun. Just save them, and then all you have to do is change out your background color if you want to match your planner. So it's as easy as that. All right, my friends. Again, I'm going to make this slightly bigger so you can see, and I'm not going to create this with you, but this also is a background with some font that I have, kind of a chalk font. And then this little bag of coffee beans is also, it's quite a fun font for coffee. Let's see. It is actually called, I think, let me go, Coffee and Tea font. And there are so many different little, I'm so sorry, sometimes it's not super simple. There's different coffee mugs and hot cups of coffee and coffee makers, and you can't see them because they're in a very tiny font, but I'm going to resize them so you could see them. And because these are in the text as a font, that they are color changing. So that is simply what I created, a little like I'm meeting my friend for coffee little sticker widget to put on my planner. This one right here, I simply just used, honestly, the pen tool to draw out these lines and wrote in some font. That is it. So you can be creative. If you are good at drawing, definitely draw some things out on your widgets. However, you have to be careful because whatever you use, that is the pen tool or the eraser or the shape tool, if you use, sorry, not the eraser, the highlighter, if you use the eraser, accidentally it will erase. But I would definitely, if you love this and you're going to use this over and over again, definitely put it into your Elements. So this again, what's for dinner? Just a basic, looks like a sticky note. Drew that out by hand, and then noted as well, and drew those lines out by hand and spaced them the best that I could. This is a font. I just simply turned it on its edge. I drew these little swirl on my own. So I've created 4 different to-do stickers. I really love this one with the little leaves on it, and you can write down your top 3, and a pink one, and one with many places to write down things. So for sure, you can be super, super creative on how you make these stickers. Here is a very large widget that has a quote on it, and these are just hand drawn as well. And let's move on to the next page so I can show you some more things. Let's see. My thoughts. So I found this little line art in my files and I brought it in, and my thoughts. So at the end of the day, I can write a few things down. I've made a little water tracker. So I've picked a color that I liked, a shape that I liked, the size that I wanted, simply just wrote in with the American Typewriter water tracker. And these dots are, I believe I just drew them with the pen tool and I drew one and colored it in and copied and pasted it all along the way. You can also type in, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so forth. Right here, I made a little date sign for every single page. It's super cool to just put it in your elements, save it in there, and then when you bring it up, all you have to do is tap on the text tool and change out the number for your day, and it's all there. Maybe arrange it so it sits perfectly. So here's an example of some backgrounds that I created with a border around it. I think it's just a 1-point border. I made it one shade darker. And these are nice little widgets that you can put on your pages, your workday, your day off, your payday, and you can create them any single way that you want to. And I made a little sticker widget that says stay cozy. This is a white background with a shade attached to it. A shadow, and then I took another color and put it on top with no shadow and created some word art. And again, this is that coffee and tea font that I used to have this little tea mug, steaming tea mug. Again, I layered two text boxes, one with a shadow and rounded corners and one just plain white with squared off corners. Put some font in there. I just simply colored this, quite honestly, with the pen tool and copied and pasted it. So I really liked that. It looked fun. Drew out my lines, and I've got a little, another little widget to put into my planner. Let's see what else I can show you. The time to read, again, is it's nice to be able to layer things on top of this background. It is so much fun. So I have this little sticker from my February kit, and I have this little sticker from my February kit, and I just layered it on. And I thought that I would put this in my daily page and just write about a little bit about what I read and whether I liked it or not and how many pages I've read, things like that. You can also be creative in layering to make a little photo, photo creation here, and that's exactly what I did. I just used 3 different colors and I layered them and put in a photo, and I just think it's a super cute way of enhancing your journal, your photos. Okay, so these two were sort of fun. It's a different take on the background. Yes, I'm still using the background tool, the text box style, but what I'm doing in order to make these is I'm removing the color and I am just creating a border. So I'm just going to pick a border color. I don't want a shadow for my border, and it could be rounded or square. So I'm going to simply make this one squared off, and I want it to be a 1-point border. So when I tap, if I go to the blank page on the screen and space bar, make it as wide as I want and as long as I want. Return, return, return. It's going to create this border for me, and that is just so useful, so much fun. You can see it's transparent, it's just the border, and you can also resize it to be as big as you want. And what I did with my borders is I did today's recipe, and I didn't, because I used this, I didn't draw this out, I used the text style box to create this. I could not erase this top. So what I simply did at that point was I did create a text box style in white that had no rounded corners and no shadow. And I tapped on that. Space, space, space. And actually, it's easier to just drag this. Sometimes the pen tool doesn't really want to cooperate. But I made a white box and put it on top so it appears as though I had erased it. And then I just put my title in there. Just a cute little thing. One thing that if you are in GoodNotes, you obviously know that now you can hyperlink to outside of GoodNotes to the web. And so I have this little recipe called sweet potato black bean enchiladas that I put in here from a site on the, where did I get it? From Pinterest. And then I hyperlinked enchiladas to go right to that recipe. So I've clicked on it. So if I can, I hope it works. Maybe I should get out of the pen tool. So yes, I can open the link and get right to that recipe for the day. Can't do that in GoodNotes Shell, so I do love that feature in GoodNotes. Again, I did the same thing with this. I created a outline with a slightly rounded corner. I put in some font. This black background is using the text box style, and that is it. And you've got your little currently reading widget to put into your daily pages. Okay, I am going to show you one more thing because sometimes I like to use transparent to put down on my page to add a little bit of color. I don't always want a solid. And the way you can make a transparent block of color is to use the shape tool here. So if let me just see, it's on the wrong color. Let's make it bright pink there. So I'm going to just draw out a rectangle, hold it, and we have a color that fills in. If I press the back button, it takes the border out. Now I've got myself a nice transparent. I'm going to draw one more so that you can see that it is transparent. I'm going to draw a circle. And when I move this around, you can see that it is transparent. And it's nice. You can resize it to however you like and put something else on top that you want to use, and it creates just a nice transparent border or background for you. And so do this circle. So it's just a nice little feature. You can decorate your pages up any way you want. And for me, I've got like a daily time slot that I can put right on top of my background that's transparent. Now I do sell monthly plan and journals, and I do have a color palette for each month, and I do create all of the solids and the transparents, and they come with the journal because not everybody wants to do this. Not everybody has GoodNotes, and it's just there at a fingertip. It's just part of the journal planner. It comes with it. But if you are so inclined to get out and be a little bit creative, this is for you. There's one more thing I wanted to share with you. Because these are all created on layers, that you have to be very careful not to mess them up as you are working. But one thing that I've discovered is that if I, let's take anything, let's just take this. If I take this and copy it and put it into Note Shelf, or any other app, I think, it is now its own sticker. There is nothing I can do with it. It is locked. It's all fused together as one PNG, and it is its own sticker. Now, I just absolutely love this. Now I've got this sticker, and if I needed to change out the colors, you know, I probably wouldn't. I would just keep it the way it is, but I would go back to GoodNotes and I can change out the colors. I've made a color changing sticker. I've saved it in GoodNotes. I can bring in a full sticker now, a full widget with, I can't erase it. I can't do anything to ruin it. It is now a fused PNG file. And here is the interesting part. You can take this sticker that you brought into Note Shelf and bring it into GoodNotes. I'm going to paste that in place, and it is its own sticker too. Now you cannot do anything to it. You can't color change it. You can't erase it. If I try to color change it, it won't do anything. It is a full PNG sticker. How cool is that? but it's always nice to have these things saved in your elements so that you can go back if you love it and want to use it again, like my thoughts, for example, but you don't want that color that month or that week or that day. You can go in and change that as often as you want to. All right, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this, and I am happy to have shared this with you. And you can catch me on, I think, Instagram, #ZuniaBerryDesigns. And if you have some creations, post them there. I'll be so excited to see what you've created. All right, thanks everybody. Bye.